In a quiet corner of the city, there lived a man named Samuel. He was not a rich man by any means, but he was content with his modest life. Samuel had a small, cozy home, a loving wife named Clara, and 2 children who filled their days with laughter and innocence. Despite their meager income, they were a family that knew the true meaning of happiness. As the years passed, Samuel was walking home from work. He noticed a flyer posted on a lamppost. It announced a lottery with an extravagant prize of $2 million. Samuel had never been one to gamble, but the allure of such a life-changing sum of money was hard to resist. He thought about all the things he could do for his family if he were to win that money: provide them with a bigger house, send his children to the best schools, and perhaps even take Clara on the honeymoon they had never been able to afford. With a hopeful heart, Samuel scraped together the little money he had and bought a lottery ticket. Days turned into weeks, and the anticipation weighed heavily on his shoulders. He would often daydream about the lavish life that awaited him if he were the lucky winner. Then, one evening, as the sun was setting and the colors of the sky painted a beautiful backdrop, Samuel tuned into the lottery drawing on television. He watched with bated breath as the numbers were drawn, and his heart raced when he saw that he had matched every single one. Samuel had won the $2 million jackpot. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of excitement and indulgence. Samuel and Clara moved into a luxurious mansion, bought fancy cars, and enrolled their children in elite private schools. They traveled the world and threw extravagant parties for their newfound friends. But as time passed, they began to realize that the more they had, the less they truly possessed. Samuel no longer came home to the warm embrace of his family. Instead, he returned to an empty house filled with the echoes of silence. Clara, once content with their simple life, had become a stranger in her own home, preoccupied with social gatherings and extravagance. The children, once playful and innocent, had grown distant and disconnected, lost in the world of materialism. One evening, Samuel sat alone in his opulent mansion, staring at the glittering chandeliers and extravagant art that adorned the walls. He realized that the $1 million he had won had cost him the priceless treasure of his family's happiness. The once loving bond he shared with Clara and his children had faded away, replaced by emptiness and loneliness. Their winnings are starting to dwindle while family relationships deteriorate. Samuel made a difficult decision that night. He sold his mansion, his cars, and all the extravagant possessions he had acquired. With the money he received, he bought a small, cozy home in the same quiet corner of the city where he had once lived. He rekindled the simple joys of life with his family, playing board games, taking long walks, and sharing stories by the fireplace. Though they were no longer millionaires, Samuel and his family had rediscovered the true meaning of happiness. They had learned the hard way that money could buy many things, but it could never buy the love and togetherness they had once cherished. And in the end, that was all they truly needed to be content and fulfilled.